We stand afraid of shadows cast by doubt, whispered fears of what they'll talk about. Got dreams that wait in line behind our pride, but courage lives where fear is set aside. So many dreams collected dust on shelves, scared to fail, so we hide our true selves. But life will pass and so will all those stares. Nobody's watching as much as we think they care. So step into the light, don't fear the fall. The only limits here are built by walls. Tear them down and seize what you deserve. You're stronger than the whispers you've heard. Got plans to make, but fear keeps you in place. Afraid to lose, or maybe scared to chase. But what if magic waits around the bend? Go grab it now, don't let the doubters win. We wear these masks to hide what we believe, but truth has power when worn on your sleeve. Reach for the stars, they're closer than they seem. Your path is clear, don't let them steal your dream. So step into the light, don't fear the fall. The only limits here are built by walls. Tear them down and seize what you deserve. You're stronger than the whispers you've heard. Got plans to make, but fear keeps you in place. Afraid to lose, or maybe scared to chase. But what if magic waits around the bend? Go grab it now, don't let the doubters win. We wear these masks to hide what we believe, but truth has power when worn on your sleeve. Reach for the stars, they're closer than they seem. Your path is clear, don't let them steal your dream.
Good morning, good morning, good morning. How is everybody doing today? I am Tech Coach Ralph. We are engineered to win. Today is Monday, January 1st, 2026. I'm just kidding. That was just a little joke from my dear friend, Miss Freckles. Today is Monday, March 3rd, 2025. How is everyone doing today? Hopefully you had an amazing weekend. My weekend was very, very busy, but guess what? Regardless of how busy we are, we do not, I repeat, we do not miss. Let me start our timer because time is of the essence. So throw up 45 minutes up there. Starting a little bit later today, but we're gonna get our work in and we're gonna keep going. So what I want to do today, I want to revisit our content creation workflow. I want to try to optimize the ability to easily switch between large language models and not have to go into the code and say, all right, let's switch this one to Google or to Anthropic or to OpenAI, because eventually we're going to be integrating some more. We're going to be integrating some more large language models in there, and we just want to continue to make it more optimized. And then eventually, we will get into putting this on more of a web application where we can go into it and we can enter our description and we get brought back the the description of the video and the title and stuff like that. And lastly, and then the final boss is going to be where we can easily just connect it to our YouTube, and then it automatically, like we say, send to YouTube, right? And or we get a list of the videos that we have to put metadata for, and we pull in that video and we say send to YouTube, and it's going to put the title, the description, thumbnail, all that good stuff. So that's going to be the final boss of this application at some point. When are we going to get there? I'm not exactly sure, but guess what? Time is on our side when we are being productive. If we're being lazy and we're just procrastinating and stuff like that, then time is not on our side. But as long as we're being productive, we have time to continue to win, to continue to move forward. All right. So that is the plan for today and for the general future of our morning shows, working on this stuff. All right. Quick announcements. We have our Candid Conversations going, premiering at noon Eastern time. I will be in the chat. We're going to be talking about it's really the evolution of the software industry, but I'm going to be focusing on QA because one of a question that we got a couple of weeks ago, and two, because I am primarily a QA engineer. I've been doing that since 2009. So I'm going to be using that as a catalyst to talk more in general about the whole software industry career, but it's going to be a really, really good conversation. So I'm looking forward to seeing you there. Tomorrow night, we have our live tech Q&A. If you have any questions, you can ask me in the chat. You can call into the show. Whatever, you can even email it to me as well. Whatever it is that you need, however you want to get in contact with me. If you're a Patreon member, you can drop it in the Patreon, you can drop it in Discord, whatever it is that you want. You can contact me and I can get your questions answered live on air. So last announcement. Do me a favor, or a couple of announcements. Do me a favor, take the traumatic brain injury survey. It is in the description as well. I'm about to drop it in the chat right now, but it'll be circulating throughout the chat as well. So do me that favor and take the traumatic brain injury survey. It's from my cousin. She just told me yesterday that she ordered her podcast equipment so that she can start compiling the data and putting content out there to help those who are suffering from a traumatic brain injury and those who have a loved one who suffers from a traumatic brain injury, how to help them, how to deal with them, and things like that. Lastly, go ahead and join techcoachdrop.dev. You can be part of our discussions. Last night we had our Scrum night and we had some amazing discussions and are planning for our next application where we're going to be working on a application that helps you prepare for interviews better, because from what I see, a lot of times people are totally unprepared for interviews and they just go in there, they kind of wing it, although they think they're prepared, and they do absolutely atrocious. All right. So we're building a tool, an app that's going to help you better prepare for interviews. We were doing some market research over the weekend. We were doing some user interviews, and it was an amazing time. But that's what we do on Team Tech Coach Ralph. We work. If you're signing up as a place to just have fun and lollygag, then this is not the place for you. We do have fun. We do have a lot of fun, but the work comes first and the fun comes second, because if you just want to show up and just want to have fun, then I will have to humbly tell you to
do not come.
All right. So we work, but we also have fun. That's it. All right. So with that being said, let us get started with before we get started, before how can I be so rude? If you guys remember Full House, how rude. I have to say hi to my friends in the chat. So let's go to the chat and let's see who we have in the building. We have Roxy, Rock the Scrubs. Roxy says, good morning. Good Monday morning, Tech Coach Ralph, mods, and the chat. Good morning to you. You see, every single time you cannot win. I know you guys would way rather see Roxy instead of me, but just covering my face just like that. Oh my goodness. That is just, I'm sorry, the software is so biased. The software is so biased. Just covering my whole entire face, saying we don't need to see Tech Coach Ralph. We just want to see Rock the Scrubs, Roxy. I'm telling you. The software hurt my feelings dramatically right now, but it's okay. It's okay. Although I'm the one paying for the software, just say, you know what? You're not even important. We're just going to show Rock the Scrubs Roxy on the screen. You can go. The software told me
Do not come.
And I'm hurt. I am hurt by that. All right. But I'm back. So good morning to you, Roxy. Hopefully everything is going well. Hopefully you had an amazing weekend. We have the one, the only Miss Freckles in the building. Says 2025 for the win. I'm telling you, if you keep depending on 2025, Miss Freckles, you're going to be like, what happened to 2025? That's why you got to join 2026 with me. Let's see. All right, so we are ready to get started. All right, let me go to our other screen where we are going to, I'll give a breakdown of what I'm going to do. So right now, when we are trying to switch between our three providers, also let me throw, I don't know what happened to my Anthropic API key. I shut it down for now, but somehow it got, I don't know if it got leaked or something like that. Maybe Mitch leaked my Anthropic key, but it just it gets got. I'm happy that I only put $25 on it because somehow it just got used and I don't even know how. There's no log that I can see how it got used because the days that it got used, it was just went crazy on, and I never used it that day. So I don't know what happened with my Anthropic key. So we got to be careful with these keys and with these providers because it just blew up. But luckily I had a limit on it and it shut it down. And I disabled the key. I'm gonna go out there and get me another key once I need to use it again. But what we want to do is we want to be able to easily switch between the request to Gemini, the request to Claude or Anthropic, and the request to OpenAI. Right now, when we were switching, or even the request to DeepSeek, right? And we're going to add a request to Meta AI. We're going to add a request to, I saw maybe Perplexity. We're going to have to sign up for Meta AI. We're going to have to sign up for maybe Perplexity. Just so we can have a nice little roster. I know some people like to have rosters of whatever. I like to have a roster of AI, right? That's just me, right? I like to have a roster of AI. So what we have here is so this is how we switch to our different agents. This one is using DeepSeek local agent, which I totally disabled because it almost crashes the system. But let's say we were using DeepSeek online, where it would be the same way, where it'd be something like DeepSeek.chat, yada yada yada, right? But we're not using this one either way. So, but how do I collapse this? Let's see how to collapse it. View. All right. So the key is over. So in here, this is where we normally say request to OpenAI for the title, request to OpenAI for the keywords, and request to OpenAI for the video description. So I need a way to easily switch this out because I do not want to. I don't want to always have to go in here to change it. What I would rather do, and I'm thinking how I'd rather do this. I would. Okay, so there's a couple of ways to do this, right? We could either in here do something like, let's say we were to go Gemini, comma, and then so that this would say use Gemini, but I don't know if I really want to do that though. I don't know if I want to do it that way, or if I want to set it from a more global level on which one to use. I'm trying to think what's the best way to do this. I think we can try it. I'm just thinking right now what is the best way. Maybe we could do. All right. So what I'm gonna do, I'm just gonna create another cell real quick, just so I can think it out, right? Because there's many ways to do this, and I'm not 100% sure what's the best way right now that I'd want to do this. Let me see if we go to here. So let me just start to write out my thoughts on this whole thing. All right, so we can say, what are my options? And I can say, all right, option 1 is to pass in the LLM that I want to use via the function that is going to generate the content creation metadata. And after, if we choose this option, there's going to be some more things that we need to do. Option 2 is set a global config to use a particular LLM. All right. What is my other option? So those are two options that I can think of right now. What would be the cons? So I'm going to say cons of, number one, cons. I would say a con is that you would have to pass the LLM that you want to use every time you make a request, which I don't want to do that. I don't want to be having to choose LLM. But I also, when I want to switch, I also don't want to go into here to do it. So I think what we need, another option, 3, make a function that switches between the chosen LLM. Another idea that I could do. So this one, so option number 3 would say request to LLM, and in that request to LLM, you'd have the message as well as the LLM to use. So let me write that down over here. Oops. I would say function would take parameters of the description of video and which LLM to use. So right now what you're seeing here is how I think through what might be my best option to build this out, right? So if I was to do option number 3, I could probably combine option number 2 and option number 3 together. So let's experiment with that. Let me experiment with that, right? So let's say we go over here, right? And I go and I add a cell, and I say I'm going to do in this cell, I'm going to copy this line right here. Good morning, Mitch. How you doing this morning? So let's go here, and I'm going to say request. So define request to LLM, right? And in that request LLM, I'm going to put a function. I'm going to put LLM provider, and I'm going to put the message, right? And here, I'm going to say if LLM provider is equal to, I should do a enum actually. Create enum in Python. So what an enum is, or enumeration, is a way to define a set of symbolic names bound to unique values. So if I do, this, if I go here, so let me do this enum right quick. And I say from class LLM provider, and I say, if I say open AI equals open AI, if I say Gemini, and the reason I'm doing it like this is for a bit of cleaner code and consistency. And I say Claude equals Claude, which seems unnecessary, but to me it's a little bit cleaner. All right. Let's see. So now, if I was to say, I think before I even do this, right? Well, what about, all right, so let's do this. And before I do anything crazy, I'm just going to do a print, and I'm going to say LLM provider dot open AI, right? So let's just run this one real quick. See what we get. Let's see what we got going on here. While we're waiting for that, let me say good morning to my guy, Mitch. What's up, Mitch? And we got Prince Marky D in the building. What's up, Prince Marky D? Where have you been? How is everything going with you? Oh, I don't see anything happening. Let's try that again. I don't see anything happening here. I would expect something to get printed out, no? You do. Oh, okay, I know why, because I'm not calling anything. So let's just do request to LLM. And I will say for now, let's say just pass Claude for now. It's not going to do anything. And let's say this is a test just for the timing. All right, so we have LLM provider open AI. So if I was to do dot value, what we get? All right, there we go. So OpenAI, if you pass in dot value. Okay. So if I was to do, I wonder if I could do in here provider, and here, I'm just experimenting right here real quick. All right. Let's go to OpenAI is not defined. Okay. Dot value. Oh, wrong spot. Let's see. Dot value. All right, so now I'm going to go in here and I'm going to say if LM provider is equal to open if it's equal to I'll revisit. I don't think I need this right now, or at least I'm not using it the right way right now. So I'll revisit that. Let's just make it work. Like, the model, make it work and then make it better. So let's say open AI, right? And we go here and we say print, or before I even do that, let's go and do this. And I'm just going to go to print the value of the LM provider and print the value of the message, right? So we have Claude and have this is the test, right? So now if I uncomment this out and I tab in and I say if LM provider equals OpenAI, then say that I'm just gonna print provider is open AI. However, else, for those who are learning Python and they're familiar with the else statements, I'm gonna put an F string like that. Provider is actually. So if we go here and we do enter on that, so it says if the LLM provider is OpenAI, then print provider is OpenAI. If it's not OpenAI, then print what it actually is, all right? And that's what we have. A provider is actually Claude, and this is a test, okay? So now what I want to do, so if I actually pass an OpenAI over here, so now I have OpenAI. So now I kind of see why I wanted to use the enum, because what if I make it like a typo in this? So I want it to kind of be restricted, right? So let me see from, what was it again? Let me try that one more time. So from enum, import enum. And I'm going to go with, let me try that one more. And if I should have just commented the code out, but whatever. Let's go here at LM provider. And let's say we have OpenAI, Claude, Gemini, and I could say, let me see how they did over here. So print color red. So inside of, oops, don't cancel that. Inside of here then, I would say if LLM provider is equal to 1, provider is OpenAI. So in here, if I say LLM, if I say it here, trying to see how this thing goes. Can I do that? Let me see. Enum and if statement Python. How would I do that? So, if current status equals status, so current status processing, if current status is equal to status pending, gotcha. So if LLM provider is equal to, okay, so it would be something like if LLM provider is equal to LLM provider dot open AI, but then I have to put a 1 in there, I believe, or let's say dot value, right? So if we do that, and then here we do open AI, what do we get? Okay. Okay, so look at that. So if we, so, but what if we pass in something like, okay, so we do here, provider is actually OpenAI. Oh, because so this had one. All right, so let's do OpenAI. All right, provider is OpenAI, and then if we change that to Claude, provider is actually Claude. So here we would go and say F or LF. LLM provider is equal to LLM provider dot Claude dot value. We would say provider is just go with this here. And over here we can do one more. Provider equals dot Gemini dot value, and we say here print provider is, all right, so this is, I mean, this code is just like test code, honestly. And we do else print you failed to provide a supported provider. All right, so now if we run that, provider is Claude. Let's do Gemini. Provider is Gemini. I also want to do, because what if I was to put like Gemini, right? Then it's going to fail, right? So I would want to say I'd want to say over here to Python to lowercase. All right, so it's just lower. I always get confused between Java code and Python code. When you know too many languages, it gets a bit confusing trying to. All right, so now whether I put Gemini in caps, it's always gonna make it lowercase. So there you go. So if I was to put the I, provider is Gemini. So it should always be fine. Whatever I pass in here is gonna move it to lowercase. All right. So now let's go ahead and start updating this code. So we're going to say request to OpenAI with the message being passed through. Right. And over here, we're going to say request to Claude with the message being passed through. And over here, request to Gemini with the message being passed through, right? So let's say I went to Meta AI over here, right? So I should get, you failed to provide a supported provider because we don't have Meta AI on our list over here. Cool. Let's see. Let me check the chat real quick as we continue to work through this. Prince Marky D says select case. You know, I looked up the select case the other day for Python, and I was like, I'm gonna do it real quick because I remember looking it up, and I was a little bit confused by what I found. Right, so Python select, because that's what I would traditionally use. So they do have it. They do have it in Python because I was looking at something the other day and it was like, oh, okay, so in version starting at version 3.10, it offers the same way to execute different code blocks based on the value. Okay, so back in so this is better to use as of version 3.10. Okay, that makes sense because I was like I was reading something and said, oh yeah, we don't do it. I know what it was. I was using version 3. At work we have version 3.9, and I was trying to do a select case and it wasn't there. I was like, what is going on? But version 3.10 and up, it does have it, so that makes a lot of sense. Perfect. I'll update that maybe next time. That makes a lot of sense. All right, cool. So now that we have this in here, we could leave that in there for now. I don't need to print this message. Sorry to hear that, Prince Marky D, that you've been sick. Hopefully you're feeling better now. No, you're totally right about the use case. You're totally right about it. I was just using because I remember I looked. I'm like I wanted to use a select case for something, and I was getting errors. I'm like, what is going on? And then I looked it up. Said, oh, we're using an older version of Python. Makes a lot of sense. All right, so now what we want to do is come into here. And here's the tricky part, right? We want to pass in the LLM that we're using. So we're going to say here, right? For the title, we're going to say request to LLM, and we're going to pass in the LLM provider and what is this video about, right? So in here we also need to provide the LLM provider, right? That way it'll pass it into the request to LLM. So when we say like Gemini or OpenAI, it'll pass it in here, which will pass it in here and go from there. If we pass one that doesn't exist, which we'll try that as well, we should get an error. Same thing over here. Say request to LLM provider. And over here as well. So let me go ahead and run this one. Let's run this one. And here we're going to say LLM provider. And I think the reason that we had some issues the first time with it is because we didn't have this this function by itself of generate the video description. We had it like built into here, which threw us for a loop. But I think we're in a much better spot now. So request to LLM, and we're going to send here LLM provider, just like that. And now we have generate content metadata, and in here we're going to also need to pass the LLM, which for now I'll put this right, but I don't really want to do it this way. But for now, just so we can see it working, we'll pass that in, right? So with that, I can go like here. See how we have Gemini? Well, it would be Gemini like that. But let me not, well, I'm not paying for the Gemini API right now anyways, but what I want to do, I'm going to go into my YouTube studio to see a video description that I need. Let's go to for some reason, people are going crazy over that that Hunter IO video that I remember when we did Hunter IO on the live stream for the ethical hacking. People are really liking that video. So that's and that was only like the first clip from that video. I'm gonna be releasing another clip from that video tomorrow, which we'll see how that one does. But that Hunter.io gave a lot of information, I must say. All right, let's go to my drafts. Let's see what's the next video we need a description for. Let's see, we have that one. Let's go to here. So let me see what this video is talking about. You might hear a little bit in the background.
Another one. So this question is about a 2-month resignation notice. So it says, boss wants a 2-month notice of leave. My new job starts in 3 weeks. I got a very attractive job offer and the start date is 3 weeks from today. I talked to my supervisor and he tried to get me to stay. I rejected all his ideas because this new offer is just much better for me. He then suggested I stay for another 2 months to ease the transition. I thought this was a little extreme.
All right, got it. So that's basically what I do. Because I'm not the one who clips up these videos, and I don't remember. I don't remember all the questions that we go through because we go through a lot of questions, about 8 a week. So I listen to like the little bit of the beginning, and then I say, okay, this is the description that I need. So what I'm gonna do, I'm gonna go to, so let me, and all these existing ones that we did, they're not gonna work anymore. Unless watch this, right? In order, so this is the backward compatibility part. So I'm going to watch this little trick I'm going to do, right? I'm going to do this. So let me make sure this is applied. And I'm going to add a cell over here. I'm going to say def generate content creation metadata, right? And I'm going to say, what is this video about? This is a little trick, right? What is this video about? And now I'm going to call in Miss Freckles. Pay attention, Miss Freckles. Pay attention. You're gonna like this, right? I'm going to pass in generate content creation metadata, and then I'm going to say the default one that I'm going to be using, right, is going to be OpenAI. Right? It's going to be my default. And then I will say I'm going to show you why. Let me show you why actually first. Before I even do this, right? Let me just delete this real quick. How much time? We have 6 minutes. Let me delete this real quick, right? So the reason that I need to do this, if I was to go and to, let's say we go and we try to use the same style that we've always been using, right? So I say, let me just undo all of this. Right? And I say, add in a new cell. And let me move this above here. And I say, generate. The same way that we've been doing it, right? I say, all right, I need so YouTube, or I say, answering the question on what to do when my new dream job starts in 3 weeks, but my boss wants me to put in a 2-month notice, right? So I made all these changes, right? And now I'm going to press enter, and it's going to tell me we can't do it because you're missing one required positional argument. What is the video? So what is the video about, right? So it's taking this argument and passing it as my LLM provider. So now if I was to try to regenerate any of these descriptions, none of them would work. So how do we make the changes that we made backwards compatible? Very, very important, because you don't want if somebody was using it before and now they try to use it and now it breaks because you're now requiring a new parameter. So in order to do that, we're going to go to what I was doing earlier, define a function, and we're going to say generate content creation metadata. and I'm going to say, what is the video about, right? The same function that we had before. But now I'm going to say, I'm going to just call in the same function that I already created. And I'm going to say, my default is going to be OpenAI, right? And I'm going to say, I should just make it OpenAI without the space, I'm just do it this way. It's just easier. It's just easier and smarter to write it that way, all right? And we don't need this in here anymore. Let's run that. And this should be fine. So if I come down over here and I say OpenAI is our default, right? So if somebody was to go and use one of these existing methods like this one, it should not fail, right? So we're gonna pass in what this video about. So basically we are calling this function within the same named function, which you guys, to those who are learning Python, you'll see that at some point, right? So now if I go back over here and I press enter, or wait, let me define this one, and I go over here and I press, and don't you dare. It takes one, oh, wait, how did I give two? Wait a second, what's going on here? This should be calling into this one. Why are you not? Is it because? Why are you not calling it? Why are you not calling this one? Maybe it's a Jupyter Notebook thing. Let me try to move this one into this one. Because I would want it to, let me see, generate, and I'll say LLM provider. It should have just took it. Let me try one more. Let me try something over here. So if I go to here and I say generate, and we do LLM. I think it's a Jupyter Notebook thing because of the cell. So let me delete that cell. Let's use this one. Position argument follows keyword argument. Whatever, we'll just do message, or shouldn't matter though, because I know that that's there. So let's go with that. All right, so that takes, so now if we run this one, why are you doing that? Content creation takes one positional argument, but two are, it should be using this one though. I should be able to call this one into this one. Why am I not? Let's see here. So if we go here, comma, LLM provider equals like that. It should work. I don't know why it's not taking it. Let me see. Got an unexpected argument. That is weird. Let's see what's going on here. That is weird. Because, all right, so it says, got an unexpected keyword argument. But it should be able to take it.
Yo, the sign is real simple, B. It says wrap it up. Wrap that shit up, B.
Because here, if I was to do the provider as Gemini, comma, I wonder if that's a, let me try this thing as well. Hold on. Cause this is weird. I I would expect this to work. So let me see if I go like that. And I was to go like that. So, got an unexpected keyword LLM provider. How's that unexpected keyword? Because I'm calling the function. All right, let's do Python call function. How do they call that in Java again? Call function with same name, but parameter. I forgot the name of that, but function overloading. Okay. Python does not support what in the traditional sense as, all right, you define multiple functions with the same name. The last definition will override. However, you can achieve similar behaviors using default arguments, variables. I thought that's what I was doing though. All right. So define my function as a, oh, okay. I think I see what I did wrong. So function. Okay. I see. I think I see what I did wrong. Okay. It's not. All right. So it's not Jupyter Notebooks. I am the idiot. All right. So we don't need to overload it this way. What we need to do is say the default provider is equal to too many languages. Too many languages. All right. So default provider is equal to OpenAI. So non-default argument follows default. All right, so we move this one over to the end. So the default is going to be OpenAI. And now when I go and I use the original function, right, it should still work or not. Takes one positional argument, but two are given. Generate video description takes one positional argument, but two are given. Generate video description. What do you? Oh, did I not run this one? Maybe I didn't run it. Let's run that. Let's run that. So we're here, and let's run that again. Title none. Because we are not returning anything here. So we would say, let's say here we do return request from OpenAI, return request from Claude, return here, and I will eventually remove these print statements, but we go back over to, let's generate this one. That's what we get. Providers OpenAI. Let's see if it gets anything generated. Oh, there we go. Look at that. Look at that. I know why it's giving me so many different titles, but okay, fair enough. All right, so something is up with something is up a little bit, but we are able to get some stuff happening. Not, it still needs a little bit of work, but we are. So now, if I was to switch over to, let's say in here, I said Gemini, right? Which we'll have to clean this up on Wednesday because it's not returning exactly as we want it to return. But nothing a little bit of cleanup on OWL4 cannot fix. Let's go here, providers Gemini. And we have our title options. It's a little messy. It's a little messy. Somewhere in here, we're gonna have to do a little bit of cleanup. Gotta find out where that cleanup is gonna happen, but we are easily able to specify which LLM that we would like to use. which I think it's better at the end, because if we want to use a default, we don't have to have it in the beginning. So we put in our description at the end. We just pass in Claude, Gemini, OpenAI if we want to be specific. We could even do it in a way where, if we wanted to, it could randomly choose a LLM as well, which maybe that's something that we'll try as well. But yeah, I think that's a good stopping point for today. So what we have to do next time is, so we have our provider. We know that it's Gemini, because Gemini loves to use the term buttercup and loves to try to be all hip and stuff, saying because of how we prompt the system. But it's a lot of information that somewhere I need to do a little bit of cleanup on here. Possibly it's not passing in the system prompt, I'm guessing. I don't know. Something is missing in here, but we will figure that out and go from there. But yeah, that's pretty much it. I think that's a good stopping point for today. We got it where we optimized it a little bit of more work to be done on the results that we're getting, because it's way too much results right now. With the title, with the description. So this description is actually all right. But the level of it's just like putting a bunch of stuff together that we're gonna have to fix. All right. But I think that's it for today. That is it for today. Let's go back to full screen. And let me check the chat, and then we're going to wrap it up for today. Let's see. Prince Marky D says that it makes sense, and that he's been sick. So I'm hopefully that you're feeling better. We got my guy in the building, Rod Brown, with the nourishing word. What's up, Rod Brown? How are you doing this morning? Do you have a nourishing word for us today, Mr. Rod Brown? That is the question. We have the Wealth Building Journey stopping by. Says, good morning. Says, stopping in for a minute. About to run the gamut of Monday meetings. Well, good luck on your meetings today, the Wealth Building Journey. Shout out to you. And Rod Brown said, same. Just wanted to stop in before I do my meeting. I have my meetings today as well. So it is meeting Mondays, I'm telling you. But with that being said, that is everything. That is everything for this morning. Last final thoughts on the way out. We have Candid Conversations at noon. Go over if you need some motivation and drive to get the week started. On Tech Music, we have David Goggins streaming up until noon, and then we have our music playlist that's going to start at 1. We have Candid Conversations at noon, as I said. Tomorrow night we're going to have our live tech Q&A, and take the traumatic brain injury survey. The link is in the chat as well as in the description. And lastly, if you haven't done so already, like the video, share the video, subscribe to the channel, go to techcodraft.dev, sign up for the Patreon account, and we can work together inside of the Patreon and inside of the Discord. We just this past Saturday, we had an amazing Python help session where Ms. Freckles and Magnetar were figuring out different Python stuff, and it was absolutely amazing. We had a Scrum Night yesterday where we were planning up our next app, and a lot of other great things are coming in the whole Tech with Draft community. So sign up, don't wait, and let's run it up together. But with that being said, I'm going to get out of here. You guys have an amazing Monday and an amazing 2026. No, I'm just kidding. 2025. Have an amazing rest of your week. You guys have an amazing day. Tech with Draft, we are out.
We stand afraid of shadows cast by doubt, whispered fears of what they'll talk about. Got dreams that wait in line behind our pride, but courage lives where fear is set aside. So many dreams collected dust on shelves, scared to fail, so we hide our true selves. But life will pass, and so will all those stares. Nobody's watching as much as we think they care. So step into the light, don't fear the fall. The only limits here are built by walls. Tear them down and seize what you deserve. You're stronger than the whispers you've heard. Got plans to make, but fear keeps you in place. Afraid to lose, or maybe scared to chase. But what if magic waits around the bend? Go grab it now, don't let the doubters win. We wear these masks to hide what we believe, but truth has power when worn on your sleeve. Reach for the stars, they're closer than they seem. Your path is clear, don't let them steal your dream. So step into the light, don't fear the fall. The only limits here are built by walls. Tear them down and seize what you deserve. You're stronger than the whispers you've heard. Got plans to make, but fear keeps you in place. Afraid to lose, or maybe scared to chase. But what if magic waits around the bend? Go grab it now, don't let the doubters win. We wear these masks to hide what we believe, but truth has power when worn on your sleeve. Reach for the stars, they're closer than they seem. Your path is clear, don't let them steal your dream.